Joanna baked cookies for her family. Yesterday, her family ate 1/3 of the cookies. Today, her family ate 2/5 of the cookies. What fraction of the cookies that Joanna baked were left? Were left is key. I don't want to know how much they ate. I want to know what's left. So first, you need to add 1/3 plus 2/5. To add fractions, you need a common denominator. What denominator can you use between 3 and 5? Right, you can use 15. So how do I go from 3 to 15? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 5. And if I do it to the bottom, to do it to the top. And how do I go from 5 to 15? Times 3. And if you do it to the bottom, you have to do it to the top. So if I add this, 5 plus 6, I get 11/15, which is an answer choice. And I'm so excited it's there. I want to circle it. But the question says, how many cookies were left? Are 11/15 of the cookies left? No. How many 15s are left? I think if I've... My goodness, I keep turning my thing off. Sorry. I think if I have 15 cookies, and I eat 11 of them, how many 15ths are left? That's your answer. And really what they're trying to know is, do you know how fractions work? Jeremy draws a scale drawing of his pool. That's your keyword. The scale he uses is 1 centimeter equals 1/2 foot. If the length of the pool in Jeremy's drawing is 42 centimeters, what is the actual length of in feet of the pool? Record your answer below. Be sure to use the correct place value. When it's scale, you will either use a proportion or they will give you the scale factor. If it's a scale factor, it will say the words scale factor. It just says scale. There's no scale factor. So we have to use a proportion. This is the scale. That is 1/2 of your proportion. The other half comes right here. And if you use your labels, it will tell you whether it's going to go on top or bottom. Solve for x. Be careful with your decimals. Remember, integers are no fractions, no decimals. And whole numbers are no negatives. Now, if it's a fraction that can be turned into a whole number, then it doesn't count as a fraction. So think about that. Number 4 says, Ashley purchased a new basketball for $35 and new gym shorts for $45. Tax was 8.2%. What was the final cost of Ashley's purchase? Just saying, shorts for $45. It's expensive. So you're going to have to add up. How much did it cost? Then you're going to have to find out how much tax was. Then, because they want the final cost, you're going to have to add this amount your total, plus the tax, and that will give you the final cost. Careful with all those decimals. Number 5 says the first 50 students who arrived in the morning at River Middle School were asked what type of exercise they like best. The results are shown in the table below. Based on the data, which type of exercise is the next student most likely to like best? You don't even have to do math. What do more students like? That'll get rid of 2 of them. 2 answer choices are wrong because there's only one kind of exercise that's the favorite. Then it comes down to the percent. And you know how to calculate percent. So your total is 50. If you didn't read, you have to add it all up. But whatever people like most, find the percent and decide which answer is true. Number 6 says Trevor went shopping for school clothes. He bought a pair of pants for $19.99, 3 shirts for $14.59, and 2 pairs of shoes for $35.49 each. He has $150 to spend. How much money will he have left after his purchase? This have left tells you have to subtract. You're going to subtract the money he has minus the money he spent. Calculating how much money he spent, that's going to be the work. So add up your pants plus your shirts. Now careful, because the shirts are $14.59 each, and he bought 3 of them, so that's multiplication. He also bought 2 pairs of shoes for $35.49 each. That's also multiplication. So you have 2 multiplication problems, an addition problem, and a subtraction problem. 7th grade is so much fun. All right, number 7, it looks better on your paper than on mine. That's a good thing. Maybe I can fix it on here. There we go. It says triangles ABCD and XYZ are similar. So first things first, color code. Double check your color coding with mine. It needs to match. If you watch, they've rotated one of these just to trick you. Now, with your colors, color code your answer choices. ZY is 4. Okay. ZY and YZ are the same. Don't let it trick you. BC is yellow. XZ, oh, that's green. If you're not done yet, hit pause. Took me a little bit. If you are done, let's take a look. I have blue, green, green, blue. Nope, or I'm sorry, green, yellow. It's not even blue. Blue, yellow, green, yellow. Nope. Only one of these works with the colors. So as long as the colors only work on one, that's your answer. If colors work on more than one, then you have to check to make sure that the triangles are lined up also. Number 8, it says it takes 5 scoops of cocoa to make 1 cup of hot cocoa. Which table shows the relationship between the number of scoops of cocoa that can be made? Which table? For this, I just like to make my own table. Cups of cocoa and scoops. If I want 1 cup of cocoa, how many scoops do I need? 5. What if I want 2? 10. What if I want 3? 15. Yeah. Go ahead. Some of these are not in order. If I want 10 cups of cocoa, how many scoops am I going to need? Right? It's going to be a lot. So go ahead and make a table and then cross out the ones that don't match yours. Number 9 says originally Daniel could run 1 mile in 9 minutes. Daniel decreased, that's a keyword, the time it takes him to run 1 mile by 15%. How long does it take him to run 1 mile after he decreased his time? Decreasing by 15% is not the same as decreasing by 15 minutes. In fact, you can't run a mile in -6 minutes. Ooh, it just doesn't work. Can't go backwards in time. So you're going to have to find out how many minutes 15% is. And it very likely could be a decimal. Then you're going to have to subtract. That'll be your answer. So 2 steps on that one. Number 10. Oh, it's so tiny. Hang on, I'll make it bigger. All right, number 10 says, the box plots below show the distribution of test scores from 2 of Mrs. Martinez's 7th grade math classes. Which of the following is best supported by the information shown in the graph? So we are looking for true. So spread is the same as range. That is your greatest minus your least. You're going to subtract. Center is your middle. Interquartile range is the box. So to find the range for the interquartile, you take the biggest number in the box minus the smallest number in the box. And then D talks about the maximum test score. That's the highest. Those are your maximums. Number 11 talks about temperature, so you should have a number line. In Chicago on Sunday, the temperature in the morning was -6.5. That night, the temperature was negative 15.2. So we're still down here with the negatives. What was the change? Change means you're going to subtract. If it went from negative 6.5 to negative 15.2, how much did it change? And was it a positive or a negative change? What is the length of side XW? You're going to need to color code. Be careful because they flipped one of them upside down. They did that on purpose. So here's the cool thing, you get to decide. You know you want to start with X, and then you can pick any other number in this shape. I'm going to pick 8 because it matches 6 and there's no decimal. If you pick 5, that's cool too. It matches 3.75. It doesn't really matter. But X and 8 come from the same shape. Over here I'm going to match. What matches X? 1.5. And what matches 8? 6. Solve that and you'll have your side length. Number 13, unit cost. That is the same thing as constant, guys. That is dividing. Money divided by ounces. Oops, I don't know why I wrote 8. That's not even in there. It's supposed to be a money sign. Money divided by ounces. Number 14 says, NIE is ordering cookies for her party. After an informal survey of her friends, she decides 13% of people want chocolate chip cookies and 72% of people want peanut butter cookies. The rest want sugar cookies. Often the rest means you're going to subtract. If 60 people come to her party, how many people will want sugar cookies? So here's the rest. Like I said, it means you might have to subtract. We have 13% want chocolate chip and 72% want peanut butter. So that's 85%. The rest, it should be minus. The rest is going to give you only 15%. Then you have to find the proportion, because 15% is not the same as 15 people. They're trying to make sure you know that percents have to add up to 100. And then you got to do a proportion.